Hello, my dog loving friends. Today's topic, swimming. When we have kids, or when we learn to swim, probably the first thing you've learned is called, to doggy paddle, dog paddle. And this is where your hands and your feet, at the same time, you simultaneously, alternate. And so in our mind, because that's the first thing that we learn, somehow people think that dogs automatically know how to swim. They don't. We need to teach our dogs how to swim. Granted, there are some dogs and dog breeds that learn to swim far faster than others. They're more comfortable in the water. Some of that is from epigenetics. And the trouble comes when we have this water-loving breed and then we have the outlier, meaning that our particular dog doesn't love the water and we think they should. I have one of those, but I know why Walter doesn't like the water. So the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to teach our dogs. When you have an inexperienced or a panicked dog and they're in the water, they generally will focus all their energy on their front feet, right? Not focusing on bringing in their back feet. And this creates this splashy vertical dog where they're just like this and they're not making any progress. That is an inexperienced panicked dog. So how can we teach them to get their back feet in? Number one, we need to support them, meaning we go in the water with them and maybe tap on their back feet or touch their back feet underneath the water. And that might help them realize they have back feet and start to use them. Sometimes it might take a life jacket. If we put an appropriately sized fitted life jacket on them and it creates some buoyancy, what happens is the dog starts to relax because they're more supported. When they start to relax, then their brain is able to process, hey, I'm not using my back feet, and they can start to use their back feet. So when it comes to teaching them about water in general, start slow, start small, meaning I might walk along the edge of the lake if we're close to the lake and their feet kind of get a little bit wet. Maybe I walk in the creek, next to the creek. Maybe I take a really shallow, not a deep plastic Rubbermaid container, but a shallow one, kind of like what they do for the long skinny ones that hold wrapping paper, right? They're not very deep, but they're long. And we put a couple inches of water and we teach the dog to walk over that or down it so that it's a little bit of water and they're just walking through the water. And then maybe we get a baby pool because that's a bigger distance that they have to walk and it can make it a little bit deeper for them. So we're basically introducing them to, water in a very low key. Sorry, that's Stanley. Annie is pestering him to play and he doesn't want to play. Stanley's a singer and it cracks me up when he sings like that. So that's his mama make her stop sound. So back to the topic. We are going to introduce our dog to water in a non-forceful way, right? We interact or we don't. When it comes to water, there's lots of different types of water. There's sprinklers, there's hoses, there's baths, right? Water in the bathtub, streams, lakes, oceans. And while we all look at that as water, they look very different to our dogs. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I kicked them all outside. So water looks very different to our dogs. I grew up in Colorado, and so a stream in the mountains is very, very cold, and it's fast moving, very different than creeks and streams I might find in Arkansas versus lakes, a mountain lake versus a lake at Lake Powell, because we went to Lake Powell for a long time. So understand that water looks different to our dogs and we have to baby step them through every type of water. Again, novice, if we go back to our skills of anything, novice, intermediate, and advanced. So novice might be the baby pool, intermediate might be a lake, advanced might be the ocean. It's a big body of water. So understand that we have to teach them each type of this water. When we get to water safety, it's important that they learn to go in and out and I forgot about a swimming pool. If you actually have a swimming pool in your house, you need to teach them how to enter and exit safely, i.e. the stairs. Don't encourage your dog to run and jump in. There's dock diving, but that's an actual sport. Don't just teach your dog, run and jump. Teach them to approach appropriately. Don't force them. That's the number one thing, is that people will force their dog and then they can create a lifelong resistance to water. So Walter, he's a poodle and they're water dogs. Pudel in German means to splash. They are a water retriever. Walter is not a water dog. And I can go back to trauma. When we brought home Walter, he was 8 weeks. And then the next weekend we went hiking in the mountains and Stanley was playing in the creek and Walter was running along the creek bed, barking at the big dog, woof, 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 and he hit a stick. And the stick it must have caught on his harness a little bit. And so as he was going, this stick started to move. And what happened is that stick actually pushed him into this mountain stream. And he fully submerged, like water over, and Michael ran and grabbed him out. And believe it or not, I actually have this on film because I thought it was so cute. He was, chasing Stanley. And so he was basically baptized in freezing ice cold water up over his head in his prime fear period when he was 9 weeks old, right? And he does not like water. If we go to Lake Powell, which we have done, he will run along the beach and maybe get his feet wet, but to actually go swimming, he's like, I don't want to. I'm good. I will play with water and I will kind of put my feet in a creek or a stream. But if you throw a toy out into the water, I'm not going to go get it. That toy is gone, or you can go get it. And I put a life jacket on him and he's like, I don't want to do it. So, and that's okay. Like, he doesn't have to swim. Like, my ego is not so tied up into the fact that I have a poodle that doesn't swim. It doesn't matter to me. There's lots of other things that he enjoys and lots of other things that we do together. I don't care if he swims or not. So when it comes to swimming, don't just assume that your dog knows how to swim. You need to teach them. You need to baby step them. You need to understand that water looks different in all these different situations, and they might need your support for you to teach them how to swim, whether it's a life jacket, going in with them. And if you say, well, Jennifer, I don't want to spend money on a life jacket if I don't know my dog's going to like it. True, fair. So here's what you do. Do a quick search. I'm sure in your area, you can probably find some canine rehabilitation place that will teach your dog how to swim. Literally, like, they go in the pool with your dog so that they give them the support. They have a variety of life jacket sizes so they can put them in a life jacket. They can experience that. So your dog can get some experience before you make a financial investment. And if your dog likes it, then you can go buy a life jacket. So that's the down low on dog swimming. They don't automatically know how to do it. When they're panicked, they don't use their back legs. So we need to teach them, support them. And pretty soon, if you do all this, you'll have a dog who probably likes the water. Until next time, may you always have a dog to love. Bye.